angsty teens and the subtext in between. This week on The Hapless Heroes.
Just sidle closer and closer until we find either a good bush or we get arrested.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Hapless Heroes podcast. I am Francesco, and tonight I continue to be your host and DM as we explore the aftermath of the big reveal. And before I do that, I'm going to intro my cast. Starting on my left, we have Dave as Zero, Valen's Avatar of War.
Good evening.
Mike as Lord and Captain Quinn Southwind.
Always at my service.
Nicole as Boris the Butcher.
Man, this journal is rough.
Zach as Pregnart.
This is Big Book.
And John as Lord Jarrell the Light.
If I had to guess, those stars are due to align tomorrow.
Hedrick is still swaddled and unconscious on the bed in your hotel room at the Garden Inn. But more importantly, last week on the show, y'all had managed to break the enchantment on Filbert Blackwood's journal. Filbert being the son of Ebenezer. His name is not Ebenezer Jr., as you had all speculated.
It could be his middle name.
Said a lot of stuff. I mean, this was, like I had described, like the journal of a very troubled and very sort of dissatisfied young man with grand designs on how to change the lives of the people of Wool and the people of Telduria forever, which is totally not an ominous thing to say. And it's totally not setting up anything at all.
Mm-mm.
Like nothing. Like that just to mean, I think that could mean anything.
Well, the spoiler is already what happened in our universe. So that's what the problem of going back in time.
It's the how that's the fun part.
Right.
No, I mean, that's the point though, right? There is no secret here. Like, you know how this ends. And now you just you're just starting to see the story's starting to come together. Like the point A to point B is starting to become a little bit more clear. But that's kind of where we're at this point. You have this information. You see in the diagrams, like I said, there was like depictions of like these starry portals and like a picture of like a boxymodron like pointing through it, and like there was talks of like the alignments of things and planets and stars and like the knowledge of Mechanus and all these things that could change so much, and lots of meta math and things like that, formulas written in this journal and diagrams of these structures and supporting the ley line in front of the tower and all of the structures and labs that exist beneath it as well. So there's a lot going on here. This kid obviously has some sort of grand plan, and you think you have a general idea of when it's going to be enacted.
Now, does this book give us an idea of where?
Yeah. It's I mean, you're kind of holding on to like the master plan, so to speak, right? But like I said, the last entry was 2 days ago. And so this was actually written, like you could say. So what I'm trying to say is this journal was written, and he had finished it before the incident just happened at the school, right? Because that was yesterday.
Yeah.
So there's not been there was no room that you can see like for an entry that, or maybe there was, you don't know. I guess no one really kind of examined too. Like, I mean, you guys had examined the book for magic and done all that stuff, but I guess if you look closer, you can see that the last page has been torn out of the journal.
Of course.
So, and Zero, with his bright red eyes, looks around. I've wanted to say this for a while since I first heard it. I have a plan.
Ooh, I just got chills.
It's a nifty little 3-step ditty. Step 1, we scout out some high ground around where he's going to do the ritual. Step 2, I wait for him to do the ritual and put 2 rounds in him. Then step 3, we go get shawarma.
Oh, they have shawarma here?
I don't know, I'm assuming.
Such
I'm kind of
such a
shooting from the
simple
hip
plan.
for step 3.
Do you think there's a way around this without murdering the boy?
I mean, there probably is. It's just a bigger pain in the ass.
Focus on the shawarma, Jarrell.
I was gonna say, I guess that depends on what everyone. I'm gonna regret saying this because I might be already assuming what I know the answer is. But like, what are everyone's feelings about murder?
Do you
I mean-
Yeah, I
suppose-
wanted to make sure that this-
because here's the thing:
Someone-
Zero has just suggested doing a murder.
Murdering a
I mean-
child.
We've all trained in
Yes.
killing people. I mean,
Yeah.
Yes, but does it make it any difference that this is just a kid?
To Jarrell, it certainly does.
I would assume
Do
for the
we-
rest of you it does.
Do
How
we
do we-
think it's possible to present this information to some interested parties and see if they could help us with this? Like, what do you think his father would do if we showed him this journal?
kill him?
Probably kill us too. Remember, I'm not sure we're counted on as the most trustworthy source of magical news in this city at this point.
Mm.
I
I'm
feel
sure you're
like
correct with
we've
that.
probably poisoned that well.
Do you think that if we presented this to all of the, or at least the vast majority of the instructors at the school, that his father might not be able to even intervene if needed?
So
If-
if you
if-
were presented some kid's journal with these, what is the first question you ask?
Well, I think our biggest drawback here is that we know he's really not good at magic, and they all don't think he's good at magic, so they probably won't think he's even capable of doing this to begin with.
You're ignoring a very obvious problem here. If that first question they're going to ask, though, is, where did we get this from? And what answer are we going to give them?
We stole it.
So Forrest, during this conversation, has set up a pillow and put a shirt on it and has been practicing throwing her dagger at it repeatedly ever since the question was asked about how we felt about murder. And she looks over and says, "You can just say I stole it from the school."
We need to tell them that we were right. We are from the future. We know apocalypse is going to happen. This is proof it's going to happen. So it's kind of proof that we are from the future.
You're not wrong there, Pregnant. I just, Zero, you are correct in that maybe openly admitting that we stole this out of a teenage boy's bedroom won't help our case.
We had to do it because they did not believe us. And
We also triggered a security alert, so it's entirely possible that if we give any other story for the provenance of this journal, that they wouldn't believe it.
these are justifiable crimes.
You're not wrong, but we still
there's
have
the
the
chaotic good
credibility
player.
problem.
And there is the chaotic good player right there. We found him.
I mean, if this becomes a values debate, one of you is going to try to stop me from shooting this kid. I'm trying to keep this very firmly a policy debate here.
We did not switch train track to make one person die instead of 5 people die. It's very cut and dry moral equation. We are trying to stop the apocalypse, so we stole a young boy's journal.
Yes, the classic trolley problem.
But it wouldn't be fair to all the other people who've already been run over.
That's a perspective you don't really hear very often. An interesting debate. I mean, I guess where are we going with this, though?
Right.
You know, like, I mean,
See-
it seems like there's not really an agreement here on what to do.
See,
I'm pretty sure
Pregnart's
all of
right
us are
with the-
agreeing. You're the only one that's not.
Pregnart's right with the values, but we continue to have a credibility problem trying to present this.
Mm-hmm.
As in, we have no credibility. In fact, what we have could more aptly be described as credibility.
So who in our travels would be credible? And how do we get them on our side?
We're
oh my
still
god,
going.
we
we
can give
have
the
an
journal to
interm-
Cheryl.
Wait a
So hold on.
second.
Okay, so hold on, put a pin in that for a second. I just want, before we continue any further, because I heard Mike accusing me of suggesting something or suggesting a specific course of action. I am prepared for any and all outcomes here.
I know you are.
So
All right, here's what we
I
need
am
to
not
do.
trying to sway you in any
Yeah,
direction.
here
Your
comes
choices
Zach's idea.
are
You
your
challenge
own.
Zach on that one.
All right, here's a good plan. Here's what we need to do. Boris takes the journal, and she goes to the front steps of capital T, the tower, and she pretends to find it in a bush, and and then she takes the bush journal, as it is known henceforth, and she says, oh my god, it is a plan for the apocalypse. Help someone. I need help foiling the apocalypse.
Like when
This is as great of a plan as the, hey, did you know the end is nigh?
Yeah.
I will forever call it the Bush Journal.
right
It is the bush journal.
when they try to explain what happened here in the future.
Oh my. Oh.
That's
You
my
had us up
contribution
until
to the
the Bush
episode.
Journal part.
No,
I'm gonna-
he's still
I'm
got me.
gonna-
I'm
I'm very self-satisfied right now. That's a good idea.
Don't love me at the tower, but I've still got my girl guide costume.
No, you're in a completely different outfit. They're not going to recognize you at all.
It's like the Superman syndrome.
You have a manicure. They're going to say, wow, this person's fingernails are way different from the person we hate.
You spent
You
all
got
that
to-
money on that fancy outfit.
Say we're about to this is like, I'd say, listen, we're about to reuse this this outfit, you're getting your money's worth. That, means nothing if and when you reset.
See, that's the other thing is, no matter how wacky of a plan we go through, and Zero pulls the goldfish bowl out of an incomprehensible space in his armored coat, we have an out.
And even if the plan with disclosing this information, no matter how bizarre our disclosure is, we still know where the young boy is trying to do this. So if it comes down to murder as the option, Jarrell's not, again, like kind of wincing at that one. Trying to think of other ways to disable him without allowing all this to transpire.
Okay, so pros, 100% success rate. Cons, morally repugnant.
The murder rate is 100% successful for us so far, yeah.
Well,
it's up
yes,
for-
as a whole, murder is 100% successful for us as a group. But I meant in this way, as if the person doing the ritual comes down with a bad case of dead, he can't do the ritual. Generally.
Boris holds up her dagger and says, I could just cut off his hands.
Just his hands.
Yes, because a maiming is so much more morally clear.
Maiming is better than murder.
Yeah, but maiming him doesn't stop the apocalypse.
If he's not allowed to do what he's attempting to do,
Think
how
about it.
badly are you going to maim him? I mean, we might as well just kill him.
Well,
Who wants to live a life like that?
Think about it like this, Quinn. Let's say you've got some plans for the day. Does having your hands cut off potentially interfere with, you caring about your business? Do you think maybe it might preempt what you're doing and have you do something else? Like, get your hands reattached?
I mean,
it's
could.
Well, I guess that takes us to option C.
In a world where he could just create more hands, it doesn't really help us.
No.
I have another plan.
Well, I was getting to something here is the distraction value of having the hands cut off. All we really... But wait, we don't have to really cut his hands off. All we have to do is make sure he doesn't do it that specific day.
I have
He comes back
plan.
the next day and tries the ritual, it's not going to work.
Let me say my plan.
Yeah, now I'm done talking. Yes, you can have it.
I think that we should disguise ourselves as 3 different ghosts and
4. Technically 4.
and capture 4 different ghosts and or 5 depending on if it's the Muppets, and we should disguise ourselves as ghosts, and we should capture Filbert and make him believe that we are showing him the past, present, and future of the apocalypse, and teach him a grand moral lesson. And then he'll wake up and he'll say, "Oh, I don't want to do an apocalypse. That's bad. That's bad for people."
I don't hate this. I don't hate this.
2 things to say about that plan, Pregnant. First is, what do we think would happen if we forced this boy to eat the fish? Like, could that potentially send him into a different...
Fran, did you prepare for that outcome?
What was
I
this
already
about?
know what
That's an outcome.
I already know what I'm going to do if that is somehow something you managed to do.
I know we know a pie shop that could easily make up a way.
A fish pie.
Yeah, we should bake the goldfish into a pie.
Will the magic
hold on,
still work if we cook the fish?
Now listen, okay? Far be it from me to tell you what to do, because like I said, I'm just the world over here, okay? You're about to tell me you want to take the goldfish, which is your only means to escaping a potentially apocalyptic scenario, and bake it into a pie and give it away.
No, he wants to bring it to a pie shop and ask them to bake it into a pie.
Yeah, we're not
We're gonna
baking it.
We're gonna serve him a
I
goldfish.
really like
raw.
how the pie is suddenly back in play.
Yeah.
My other
No, I mean honestly, I like an Apocalypse Carol idea the best. I think this is
I
the
do.
one we should
I actually really like the ghost.
My other concern is that in 100 or 200 years from now, we do not fight Filbert, do we?
I don't know.
We fight Ebenezer specifically.
He
So-
probably just changed his name. I mean,
He probably just changed his name.
It kind of makes sense if you were the kid, wouldn't you?
yeah, he hates his name.
I mean, like I said, the whole first section of this journal is all about how much he's being made fun of for like his name and like how his dad has the coolest name ever. And he's like, why did they pick Filbert? Apparently, it was some sort of family name, like from like an ancestor or something like that. And they,
So, how do we make ourselves look like ghosts?
Oh my God!
Have you never met with your old kid?
Does anyone else have a more practical idea? Or
Well, I mean, I was going to wait for them to develop this a little more before we started working out, workshopping, getting through the, heavily warded house with the wall and the guards around it, and the fact that we've already tripped the alarm and they're on high alert.
Yes, you do have that information that I conveniently revealed to you at the beginning of last episode.
I hold
Pragnar
bed sheets.
unswaddles Hedrick. Did that
Guards
come
come out
through?
of
Should I
showers
repeat
more
that?
than you can see.
No, I heard.
Pragnar
Okay.
unswaddles Hedrick and starts cutting holes in the sheet that he was swaddled in.
Oh my God. Just then there's a knock
holes.
there's a knock at your door. Room service. You ordered the bath bombs?
Oh, good. I need to have a bath while I have a think.
I have a genius
Pragnar.
idea. I can mirror image myself and be all the ghosts.
Pragnar opens the door. Pragnar answers the
Yes,
door.
it's the person that you had requested bath bombs when you guys arrived back here, and they are delivering you the lavender bath bombs.
I say,
Thank you. Wait, can I request something else?
What do you need, my dear sweet frog?
Can I have a bunch more big white bed sheets?
How many do you require?
5.
Yes, sir. Actually,
We're
there's
doing
a
the
closet.
Muppets version.
There's actually a closet right there. There should be enough sheets for what you need.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Is there anything else I could do to assist you?
Is there
Good
anything
frog,
else
sir.
that you needed to present us as a plot device or other?
No, you just you ordered bath bombs. I just was making sure that I followed up on this thing that we mentioned last episode that I didn't want to forget about because I thought it would be really funny.
Do you
Good
have any
attention to detail.
balls and chains?
Oh yeah, specifically chains. We need chains.
We got chains. We're good.
Oh, never mind. We don't need the chains.
Okay, this person is now is starting to look a little bit more visibly uncomfortable. Is there anything else I can do to assist you, my dear esteemed guests?
now Pragnar is just like, I don't know. He's just taking a shot in the dark.
Can you find me a hamster that can ride a little unicycle?
He seems a little perplexed by the question for a moment.
Pragnar sensed that he was unnerved by the chains request, and now he needs to add something a little lighter.
I'm sorry, you said a hamster riding a unicycle?
Yes, a little hamster that can ride a little unicycle. He wears a little hat and he whistles a little song.
I will see. It's oddly specific, but I'll see what I can do.
That's what I want. You asked me if there's anything you can do. That's the main thing I want.
I mean, yes, I did ask that question.
We've
I
got
did.
a lot going on in
I
here.
regret
and
asking
this is
that
kind of the
question.
thing that I want the most.
I will get back to you very soon, my good frog. And
Thank
he
you.
leaves.
Good day.
Did you slam the door?
No, I don't slam. I just say good day pretty sharply.
Oh, okay. And then you gently close the door.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
I
still closing it.
I just thought it was time for an interruption. I'm sorry. I you know,
You're right.
I guess I was the hoblet timer this time.
Yeah. All right. Pragnar draws himself a bath. Oh, wait, no. Does this place have running water?
The
Yes.
bathtub, I believe, is probably still full since Boris had climbed out the window with the full
Yep.
baths full of like
I
gross
did-
old cold bubbles.
That's
I
good
did
enough
mention
for
to
Pragnar.
you there is plumbing running through this city. There is a massive aqueduct that is feeding water into here from the mountains beyond.
Pregnart doesn't need a hot bath, so he drains it just a little bit and adds just a little bit more hot water, so he gets like a nice weird kind of. I mean, I imagine the bath water is pretty gross from Boris, and he just has himself a weird.
Oh, by the
bath.
time
Never got
by the
in.
time you've got by the time you've gotten back, all of the bubbles have cleared from the bathroom and it has been scrubbed clean.
Oh. All right. Much to Pregnart's disappointment, he has a very clean bath,
Yes, you do.
and he draws himself. A
That's
bath
what
and,
baths are supposed to do.
What kind of bath bombs do I have? What are my
Lavender.
options?
You requested
they're
lavender.
all lavender.
You requested lavender.
Great. We're doing it. Pregnart's having himself a bath.
Okay. Beautiful. Wonderful. That's great. That's a great plan. What's everybody else doing? We were just on the topic of a murder before I conveniently interrupted with room service.
Yeah, Boris has listened to the request, pulled all of the cookies out of the bag and put them on the table in order to be able to get to her armor at the bottom of the bag, and pulled the iron shackles that she had removed from herself and stolen earlier out and put them on the table for
yes. When I
Ghostbusters.
when I forgot to cut back to Boris, that is what had happened in the interrogation room, is that she had freed herself and had taken the manacles into her inventory. And the key.
Oh yeah, I put the key out too. Why not?
Do
I'm just
we
saying, you managed to actually swipe the key too.
do we wish to try the Bush Journal idea prior to the Apocalypse Carol idea?
Might as well. I feel like the Apocalypse Carol idea might need a couple of days of setup and a little less high alert. So maybe we try that on the next lap.
That's a convenient way of saying, we'll just put a pin in that. We'll just put a pin in that.
Well, I don't know. I don't want to count it out entirely. Apparently, they have qualms about me shooting a child.
I'm still
Science.
cheering for Filbert Scissorhands personally.
See,
Jarrell,
that's so bad that-
you really need to be the moral, good part of this argument, because right now, all of the besides, I guess Pregnart's idea is not necessarily
Murder?
kill the
Straight
kid,
murder?
but aside from that,
It's murder, it's maiming.
okay, it's not murder, it's maiming. That the fact that there is a distinction of those things for you, and you feel more enthusiastic about maiming, makes me more terrified. Me personally, just me the player. Hey, the DM Fran. Hi. But you do you, I guess. But John or Jarrell, your mates are literally suggesting murder and maiming and a weird play on a Christmas story. So.
Christmas Carol.
There was also on
Carol.
a food
Christmas
product.
Carol, I know, but
We-
with our luck, it's going to be a Christmas story.
In Jarrell's opinion, we have a little over a day to avoid murder, if we can. But
Yeah, I guess so.
if it's that's really what it comes down to.
Is it really like an ends justify the means type thing for
Well,
you?
it's a full-on
Like the greater-
apocalypse.
like greater good kind of thing. I guess I'm kind of curious, what Jarrell is wrestling with this.
So,
idea, right?
Jarrell has killed a lot of things. Most of them are undead or evil in some way, shape, or
right,
form.
where there's really no question on
Right.
whether, this is this is a fantasy universe where good and evil are actual tangible things that exist and can be embodied in the fullest physically. You know what I mean? So these are not metaphysical concepts. These are actual things that are
Right.
real. So yeah, it's you've the things that you've destroyed have been things that are evil,
Right.
in nature. And so this is sort of this is just a kid who
In
is
Jarrell's
obviously very troubled.
in Jarrell's mind, he's open to the idea of discussion with if possible, and if discussion of letting somebody know that, hey, if you do this one thing, you're gonna kill millions of people over the course of hundreds of years, and their response is, I'm gonna do it anyway. then they fall into the evil category, and then you're allowed to do it. But like, if you don't try to talk them out of it,
I like this calculus. I like this.
Oh, okay.
That's perfectly reasonable.
And there's like,
I do have one more idea here. We make a bet with the popular kid at school. We get him to do a makeover for Filbert. We turn Filbert into the popular kid. He doesn't want to have an apocalypse anymore.
Yeah, Filbert's all that.
I like this the next time around when we're able to get back into the school with our skin still attached to our bodies.
Has anyone
For those of
tried
you who
to
have
take
skin.
Filbert's glasses off and reveal how hot he is?
This whole conversation is I can't express to you how happy I am right now.
What, that
Like,
we're either
this is-
gonna Apocalypse Carol or He's All That, this kid?
This is the best. This is the best feeling like in the world.
I realized the
This
good
right
idea
here.
just happened, but I could not help but add that one.
The good idea
I thought you were
has
talking about your
happened.
own idea. That was I would say I've heard a lot of good ideas. And I've heard a
meant the
lot
one
of bad
before.
ideas.
I meant the
I don't think I've heard a bad
functionally
idea.
good idea.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess what a good idea is subjective. Really, it's up to all of you as a group of players.
Yeah, so I think it's pretty clear that an Apocalypse Carol is the one we're going with.
With a backup of He's
We're-
All That.
we're trying. I think we're gonna try the Bush journal first.
Journal.
wait. Bush
Yes.
journal first.
Bush, well,
Yes, Bush Journal
Bush
first.
Journal takes the least setup. He's All That sounds
It
like
also has the
exactly the
best
sort of
name.
thing we can lead into after the fish as soon as we're in the school. If He's All That fails, then we can try Apocalypse Carol on the same go-round. And if that doesn't work, then we try the traditional Zero sits up in a clock tower, Jarrell does the dramatic walk across the square and meets him and gives the subtle signal if things go wrong and, thump thump, and it's very, Gorky Park looking kind of shit. I don't know.
So, as an aside, and I may or may not keep this in, my dream for this is like starting to take shape. Because I
You were
had always
dreaming of He's All
imagined.
That.
No, I have imagined this. I was imagining that we'd get to a point where we could literally montage all of your reset attempts, like literally just like almost like flash to the different scenes, and then it always ends up the same way or something like that. Like I just,
Right.
okay.
I feel like we need a visual component to make that storytelling tick, but I feel you and I want to make that happen so bad because I feel like it's such a good way of delivering.
There's a way to achieve it by just actually playing through it.
I think the audio version is great. I think
the audio version is going to be
non-montage
great
version-
because I have an idea of how to do it. I won't say anymore. Continue with your.
All right, team. Let's do Bush Journal.
Ready, break.
Pregnant said that from the bath.
Okay, so Zero from another incomprehensible space pulls out a field notes, like a actual field notes journal. It starts just jotting down. Okay, so we have Bush Journal. We have He's All That.
Filbert No Hands.
We have Filbert No Hands. Where do we want to put that in the order? I'm
Slash
thinking.
Filbert Scissorhands.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of final. Maybe that's our escape plan for if Apocalypse Carol goes wrong. One of you keeps some garden shears under the robe.
Pretty much only the last option before murder.
What if we give him food poisoning so he's too sick to make it the day of?
Do we want to put that after He's All That or after the Apocalypse Carol?
Philbhausen syndrome by proxy.
we could try kidnapping him and brainwashing him. I not want to do it. Yeah, that's always an option. Brainwashing sometimes works.
Okay, wait a second. You have the moral qualms about the murder. But you're cool with the kidnapping.
I mean,
I just
Well,
want to.
that's
I just, as the Avatar of War, I'd like to know where Valen's line lies.
But I feel like that's not hurting or maiming him in any way. You're just holding on to him until said apocalypse is
not
passed
happened.
over. Right.
Right.
Actually, that's probably the most simplistic, like, obvious choice here.
Well, I mean, if he's all that works, won't the girls jumping all over him do that job for us anyway?
Yep.
Is the subtext here that Filbert is as pissed off as he is because he's an incel?
No, that's not really the angle I was going for.
Okay. Is it subtext or intertext? Mike?
Probably still be subtext.
All right, guys. Bush Journal. Let's go.
Bush Journal it is.
Okay.
Now, do we want to, Zero kind of looks at the awkward size of this journal. Do you have a way of getting it back to its original size?
It only lasted for a minute.
Oh, fair enough. We've definitely
Or
deliberated for over a minute.
Or concentration, and once I hit my nice lukewarm lavender bath, my mind just slipped into heaven.
So a freshly bathed Pregnart exits the bathroom, and this is the first time I think you've ever seen Pregnart with actually like smooth, shiny skin.
Mhm.
Like the layer of film is slowly starting to like regenerate,
I
but
exfoliated
like,
in there.
but he's like, this is the cleanest you've ever seen Pregnart. I guess like if we're talking by.
Oh, wait. Hang on a second.
Oh no.
Pregnant emerges from the bathroom, and the light streaming in from the window just hits an especially glistening part of his head just right, and
Zero
he's
turns
shiny.
to Jarrell.
He's shiny clean.
Zero turns to Jarrell. Valen, he's so radiant.
He always looks like that to me.
You can just cut that out. That didn't really work.
No, it was soothing.
Yeah, I kind of dug it.
All right, guys, you want to do Bush Journal now?
So, Quinn, are you able to invisibly deliver the journal to the bush moments before Boris discovers it?
Here's the thing: Quinn's gone invisible lots of times today. How
Yeah.
many times can you do that?
4, I think.
Okay, we still got some.
Wait, are we doing the
let me
Bush
double
Journal
check.
today, or are we doing it the day of?
We should try Bush Journal today if we can, because that way we still have a chance to do something tomorrow.
Yeah, we need to do ASAP Bush Journal.
Great.
Maybe,
I can do
maybe we
that.
could do a quick food poisoning tomorrow and get that one out of the way.
I would prefer not to waste my last spell cast on another invisibility unless I absolutely need it.
How else do we get the journal into the bush without somebody seeing us put the journal in the bush?
She walks up to the bush and says, "Oh my god, I found a journal in a bush."
It's not like she can't conceal things with her hands. I mean,
she has the skills.
Can I Alex Mack it into the bush, please?
Oh my god.
I don't know.
Like,
What
make
that means.
yourself-
Only if you have GC
Yeah.
161 in your
I mean,
inventory.
listen, you can ask. I'm not the one who has to give you permission.
All right.
How heavy
I
is
can-
the book?
I can shift form and make myself a slithery little puddle while I hold the book, and I can put it into the bush.
Will the puddle ruin the book?
No.
Just so confidently.
Is a book soaked with goo considered ruined to you?
The book soaked with goo slithering across the lawn, less likely to be noticed.
You can already see that the protective film, the film that like layer of Pregnart has already started to like at this point like re-encompass his body because it's just something that his body naturally produces. Like
Right.
this is just what he does.
Let me. Pregnard takes like a test book from off of one of the shelves in our room here.
Okay.
Are we in like a room or a suite?
Sweet.
We're in like we're in a suite. All right, we have a
You
big.
drop
grand-
3 gold bricks onto a counter, and we're like, "Yo, give me the best room you got."
All right, cool. Yeah. So Pregnard takes a test book and he shifts form and he slithers around the room for a while. Does a loop the loop and shifts form back into Pregnard form and solid Pregnard form, or as solid as Pregnard gets. And he, I don't know. What's the state of this book?
So wait. So just to be clear, you took the book, right? Everyone was cool with that, right? No issues.
Not the
and then
journal. He's trying a different
Yeah,
book.
I took
Oh,
a
just-
test
yeah,
book.
He's trying a
off of the
test
shelf.
book in the room.
Yes. So where do you have the journal? Like, where do you have the book? Like, what do you like? Where are you holding it, or where are you storing it? Like, what are you doing with the book when you go?
I just
into
hug
your
it.
liquid
I hug
form?
it to my chest.
Perfect. Okay. So you hug it to your chest, and then you become liquid, and then you become whole again,
Yes.
and the book is covered in slime, like you slime.
Yeah, and Pregnard looks at it and he says, "Look, it's still good as new."
See, that's why I asked.
I love how cinematic this is. This just chef's kiss.
Nothing is wrong with the book. It looks like a really good book. Probably better than before, I think.
Okay, so we're gonna keep this one in our back pocket for non-porous materials.
I'm all right with Boris just pretending she finds it. She's so sneaky, it probably will go over just as well as anything else.
Now, am I going to set off an alarm just by approaching the tower after last time I was there?
You'll be in disguise, I think. It'll be fine.
It's not a magic Girl Guide costume, I don't think.
Are you using the Girl Guide costume or the fancy costume you bought?
Neither is magic, and I'm concerned about the tower probably knowing I'm there.
I can also enlarge you to make you even more disguised.
Well, what were you? Were you not wearing
Just
your?
a giant girl walking over to the bush.
Yeah.
Only for a minute, too. So she's got to act fast. I think
I think Boris should just sleight of hand this book out of the bush, and maybe we can test the radius that she can get close to the tower. Just sidle closer and closer until we find either a good bush or we get arrested. Please do not take that out of context.
Nope. I definitely will not make that the bumper for this episode.
So many buffer options.
I will definitely not do that and preserve that in the internet forever. I will totally not do that.
No. Absolutely not.
God, I love drinking coffee before this podcast.
So, enhanceability helps all checks in that category, correct?
Correct.
Would it be beneficial for Boris to have enhanced charisma?
An interesting idea.
Are we sending Boris alone?
I feel like we should.
Be observing from a comfortable distance.
I mean, yes, we should. Boris with enhanced charisma is literally a danger to everyone.
It might bring on a mini apocalypse in itself.
So, my thought is that Jarrell has been seen with his armor on, but not with his armor off. So Jarrell, you could potentially still play off your role as Father Christmas Cookie here.
Father
And
Girl Guide Cookie.
Potentially. At the same time, I would also give Boris the benefit of my divine presence, which again aids in its own way.
Also, I could hide
yes,
in a
my
jar.
mere presence aids everyone.
It literally does.
I know, but it just makes you sound so fucking full of yourself.
That's also very on brand for Jarrell.
This party has been nothing since we've started. It's just been nothing but a battle of egos, and I'm here for it.
So Boris, the boon to your charisma would be helpful.
I think so. I mean, my charisma's a +1. It's not great. It's not gonna hurt it.
Oh,
That's not
having advantage on charisma checks would maybe be a good thing then.
yes.
It's wisdom and dexterity that Boris rocks.
Yeah, and if she needs to like lie to somebody about where the book came from, charisma is a deception. Or
Okay.
Deception is a charisma ability.
I feel like we're sending the sheep into
I mean,
the
my
wolves'
deception's
nest.
not awful. I am proficient in that at least.
I'm willing to cast. I don't.
Which means you can't
it
get
level
less than
2?
a what is it, a 16?
Yeah, right. Because I'm proficient in it. Yeah, I can't get less than a 16.
You have a baseline 16 on charisma checks. So anything that would have a DC of 16 or below, you would just automatically pass. This essentially is how that works.
Well, I feel like because people are on high alert for her, I feel like having a higher dexterity is going to be, or higher charisma is going to be a benefit. I'm going to walk up to Boris, and I'm going to put my hand on her forehead, open palm, on her forehead, and I close my eyes, and I just go, caw. And I've now cast her
God.
with Eagle's Splendor. She now has all advantages on charisma checks.
This is so shocked by the noise that she doesn't even steal something out of his pocket while that's happening.
Because my insight sucks, so you would have done it.
Perception, but yes.
Oh, perception sucks too. Either one.
All right. Well, how long does that last for?
Great question.
A minute.
Best get to running then.
Up to 1 hour with concentration.
All right. So you have to be nearby.
So more of a power walk.
It'd be very hard to concentrate on a spell that's on your ally that, is very far away from you, I'd say. Like, not within eyesight at all.
Right.
Or, of many blocks
You
away
would
or
think it would
something like
give
that.
some sort of...
Yeah, concentration rules are a little malleable in that way, so I'm just gonna go ahead and bend this to what is convenient and fun for me. So, because I am the DM and I can do whatever the fuck I want.
I mean, potentially...
All kidding aside.
because invisibility is also concentration.
I would just imagine that if you had to concentrate on a spell, you're obviously... I guess you could find a way to... I can argue it could be made that as long as you're just concentrating and making sure that this, whatever energy you have, focused on this enchantment is active. Sure, but you're going to be so concentrated on that obviously, you're going to be making concentration checks if you get involved in anything else.
Okay.
So we'll play it out that way
Okay.
to maintain your concentration on this. Say if you get distracted or something.
Mm-hmm. Which I'm sure you're coming up with that idea.
Unless you're close by, in which case it's gonna be a little bit easier to focus. But I'm gonna say the further away you are, the harder it's gonna be to maintain your concentration if there's other stuff that's vying for your attention.
Fair enough.
Not foreshadowing that there will be, but there could be.
Mm-hmm. All right, Boris, it's all on you.
All right. Should I be in my Girl Guide costume, or should I be dressed up all fancy?
Also, by the way, you guys are in the 9th ward, and you have to probably take a wagon or something, or like some sort of transportation to get back to the tower if this is where you are intending on doing this. So you cast the spell. It's active for an hour, but you got to travel there now.
Oh, I thought we were
Doing all of
already.
this at,
I thought we were
Are
already
you-
there.
I don't know. I didn't hear anybody say, "Hey, let's go to the tower now." Okay, we're going to the tower. Like
No, you can
As
wait
far as
until
I
we
know,
get
we're
there
still
to cast
the
it.
last
if you
the
want.
last thing that happened before y'all decided to go with this plan was that Pregnard covered a test book in goo.
Oh,
So,
yeah,
I mean,
and
like,
the
that's where we're jumping off from here.
Okay, so if I can backtrack, if it's
we could
allowed,
do take backsies. We'll
I
just do a
would-
little take backsies.
I would once we get there, I would cast.
Yes, the conditions are more clear for when you would do that. Of course, absolutely, that's fine. So we can yada yada our way there if there was no other business.
Yada
here at the
yada.
hotel. As you guys are leaving the hotel, I just we'll kind of see kind of do this like sort of little camera pan for a second, right? Just to kind of just create a scene where you guys hop on this little wagon to transport you to the entry to where the tower is. You see that the camera sees a very exhausted looking hotel employee holding on to a hamster with a tiny little hat and a unicycle in the other hand. And he's frantically running into the hotel.
Yes. Oh my god. Yes.
And so now we arrive at the tower.
So
Wait, what? Wait, what's going on? This did not catch Pregnard's attention?
No, we were already in the
No,
wagon.
the camera saw it. You guys had rode off into the
God
sunset.
damn it. I want to make a perception check.
He's gonna eat the fish.
I'm making a perception check.
Okay.
We're not out of this scene yet.
Okay.
Fuck. Never mind.
Okay.
It was a 5.
We arrive at the tower.
Fuck. What was the hamster's name, Fran?
You'll never know.
Fuck. All right, I'm rage quitting this episode. Bye, guys.
Wow. This man's rage quitting because he can't have his cake and eat it too, huh?
All right, I'm back. I'm back.
We're at the tower. Once again, I am just the world. I am just presenting the scenes.
Are we at
The
the
tow-
tower, or are we at near the tower? Just to clarify.
You're at near the
How
tower.
close to
You're
the tower
You're
did
at
we?
near the tower.
Wagon.
You're a good. It's a very large open air plaza, right? You have
All
a
right.
gigantic structure that is supporting this column of energy that is just shooting out into the sky. If you look up at it, you can see that you can see the moon is out, and it's in the sky, just off to the side of where this beam is shooting out and just to the vast open sky. And there's these massive structures, stories and stories tall, that are supporting and harnessing this energy. And then there's this just down the plaza from that is the tower that sits in the center.
Okay, Boris, do you remember the plan?
There are, as I say, there are plenty of people out and about here, walking around, academic types, people having conversations. There's chessboards set up in this, it's like a big cobblestone plaza. There's chessboards set up, there's flower beds, there's trees, there's birds chirping, it's a lively place. It's an academic sort of plaza.
now, is this near where the big column of magical energy is going up, or is that somewhere else?
I mean, it's hard to miss. It's here.
Okay, wonderful. Zero is going to preoccupy himself with just kind of scoping out and trying to find high grounds.
High grounds.
If there's maybe a tower or something nearby.
There
near the
is
top
a
of building.
gigantic tower.
Well, not
nearby.
that, or just maybe
One that
minor
is
towers
accessible,
and or
Fred.
buttresses. A clock
There
tower
are
or something.
there there are stone walls that do surround this central district, right? And that separates out and connects to the sort of like middle ways that connect to the other like wards that surround like this, like, you know, for the 12 wards that surround this circular city. So like
Fantastic.
this entire plaza has also been walled off from the other like wards. Like there's sort of like layers of walls to this city.
Excellent. I'm just gonna do like, you know, maybe some brief scouting for a sniper.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are pretty
in
close
advance.
to the walls. Yeah, you guys are pretty close to the walls where you get dropped off, you know, by the transportation. Like the horses don't actually enter the cobblestone plaza itself because, you know, these hoity-toity academics don't necessarily want to be cleaning up horse poop, even if they have magic to do it. And so, yeah, you're close to the walls. I mean, you can see like it's all very heavily guarded. There are a mixture of both like armored guards and like wizards, like, you know, like wizardly looking types, like that are wearing like armor, like almost like battle mages of some kind, that are guarding these walls. This is probably the most heavily fortified and heavily guarded place in the city.
Caw-caw!
And there we go. That's beautiful. Okay.
We haven't been
We're
stopped yet.
I'm not trying to do anything this go round anyway. I just feel like, you know what? The conditions are going to be the same this time no matter what happens. So, you know, just do a little bit of advanced scouting for the future. So, I don't know, maybe is there a perception check or something I could make to try to find an area that would make a good concealed high position?
Sure.
Let's say if it's a perception, we're going to go with a modified 20.
Okay. I mean, there are some small, like, there's like some cafes and things like that that are like, you know, like the open front, like open faced, like, you know, like stalls that have like roofs on them. You know, there's something that's more like there's no actual buildings here that are more than like a story tall, except for, again, the gigantic structure that is supporting this column of energy and the tower, capital T, capital T.
Are there any sweet bushes around?
And then
Pregnarts?
also all like the turrets and stuff like that, like on top of like all the, like, you know, the walls in each section as it like kind of turns. There's like different, you know, guard posts. Anyways, sorry.
Pregnant is on constant lookout for the perfect bush.
I mean, there's bushes everywhere. Like everything, like all the
Nice.
landscaping here is very well manicured and very like beautiful and pretty. And there's flower beds everywhere. There's landscaping surrounding the tower. There's landscaping, you know, just like, you know, all over this like park. And it's like, you know, this like large plaza.
So Boris is scoping out the people. Is there an area that has what she would determine looks like a bunch of like high-ranking professor type, you know, super smart, really sciencey looking teacher bros?
You know, if you walked around long enough, you might be able to spot like someone meeting in between classes or something like that, like just like, you know, getting some air, you know, whatever. But a lot of people here seem to be more in motion. You know, there are some like folks playing chess and stuff like that together too. Like I had mentioned, there's like a little chess
kind
area.
of the chess area. Perfect. Is there like something where it's obviously like those are professors from the school? You can tell just by looking at them playing chess.
Make me an insight check.
Is that insight or perception? You know,
I'm
it
gonna say
doesn't matter.
insight.
It doesn't matter.
Because you're kind of judging
25.
based on how someone looks. Okay, there you go.
Well, I'm
yeah.
also judging by if there's like textbooks around them, any sort of like educational materials in a book bag nearby.
I'm still arguing for insight, and you rolled nice, so we don't have to really argue this anymore. So I'm just going to give you the information.
Cool.
Spicy.
Yeah, there. Not at all. You know me. Yeah, there are two scholarly types having are in the middle, embroiled in of a very intense game of chess. You can tell because I mean they're moving the pieces by not even touching them. They're just like, you know, using some sort of like very, you know, rudimentary cantrips and stuff like that to just like move them without actually touching them. Like one of them's using a mage hand to actually move the pieces around and stuff like that. And he's doing it very daintily like.
So Boris is gonna pick a bush near that table.
Okay.
And just kind of like, wander towards it in a very unobvious and casually walking manner.
Jarrell is keeping within 10 feet of her, at least.
Okay.
Boris is gonna go get over towards that bush, assuming nothing goes wrong and stops there.
Sure. Yeah, there's a bush there for sure. Yeah,
be like,
cool.
oh my, what is this? And lean over near the bush and pull up a journal.
The moment you start like yelling, you aren't even able to.
Not even yelling,
just
like a casual, oh my.
But of course, like you exclaiming, like one of those academic types turns around and is like, "Excuse me, can't you see we're trying to play a game?"
Okay, comic book guy.
So Boris,
it does sound like comic book guy.
Sticks her head up out of the bush and sees the academic-looking man kind of angrily looking at her, and kind of climbs towards him and just goes, "Oh, I think maybe you dropped this, or one of your students. Are you?" And holds the book towards him, but like has it open and is flipping through the last couple of pages at his face.
Did you leave this here? Oh man, like isn't this stuff in this so crazy? Like, oh my god,
this looks like
this is
it's
yours?
educational and scholarly things.
Is this
you
familiar?
look smart.
I like where your head's at there, but the guy that you're addressing here just goes, "I would never be so clumsy to leave my personal belongings lying around in bushes. It was probably some student at this school. Just turn it into lost and found and they'll deal with it. And please stop interrupting this very intense game." And he just turns right back around. And he adjusts his glasses as he does so.
Brings the journal back to Pregnart and goes, "Enlarge this."
Pregnart casts enlarge on the journal.
The journal goes, just it's a big journal now. And then you see the academics now stand up from the table being like, if I told you once, I've told you 1,000 times, there is no magic to be performed by students outside of school grounds. We have an unauthorized use of magic. Guards." And you now hear an alarm sounding and a bunch of people being called to attention. And that's what we're going to call this episode of the Hapless Heroes podcast.
Fantastic.
Thank you, everyone, for listening, being with us, laughing with us, crying with us. But if you like us, you can find us on the internet. Just look on Instagram or Twitter at Hapless Heroes. We also have some presence on Facebook and Reddit, just for Hapless Heroes Podcast. But really, those places have a lot of sticky posts and ways to point you to our Discord server, where we're constantly hanging out and talking with our wonderful audience and talking amongst ourselves and sharing all those cool internet memes and things. It's really a cool,
happens.
hip place to be, and we encourage you to join our burgeoning community. But
That's where you can post all of your erotic fan fiction and artwork.
No, none of us. We are not actually asking for that. Please, dear God, no. Please, no.
Speak for yourself.
Please, no.
I want to see it.
I don't want to see it. I don't. No.
No, thank you.
What does
thank
Pregnant
you.
look like in the bath? That's my question. Can
I
you
don't want to
artistically
know.
and erotically depict Pregnant in the bathtub?
Specifically
With one leg
Be-
gently hanging over the edge.
Careful what you ask the internet for.
Oh, I'm being very careful.
If I see that shit in our Discord server, though, I'm fucking deleting it.
Well, let me
You
see
can
it first.
you can DM it to Zach.
Yeah,
We'll have
DM
to make
me.
an NSFW Pregnart channel, and I'm not sure
I
the
do
world's
not
ready for
want
that.
to do that. I just don't want to do that. I don't want to be the ones. I don't want to be the one responsible for unleashing that upon the world.
Or moderating it.
Let's see it.
Or moderating it. That is also true. Or put that on our other amazing community moderators, which, by the way, thank you again, Thessie and Altair Khalid. I really hope that, I can't speak for Zach. I really can't.
You're going to have your work cut out for you.
Oh, fuck me. If you really like us, you could leave us a 5-star review on the podcast service of your choice. Really means a lot to us to read your kind words. It really just puts the wind in our sails and just makes us feel like all of this that we're doing is for something special, because it really is special, and you're special. You 5-star human, you. And speaking of 5-star humans, I would love to acknowledge all of our people who have donated to our Patreon. It's patreon.com/haplessheroes. We have a whole bunch of rewards and bloopers and behind-the-scenes audio and stuff like that we upload on there. It gives you access to a special channel on our Discord to put your pinkies in the air and show off how cool you are. But really, it's just it's a way to show your support, and the fact that we've had people like donating to this and feeling like we're worth that hard-earned money. It warms my heart. It all goes right back into doing this. So it's just you're just keeping the lights on, and we really appreciate you. You're the best.
And if you like us, right now you like us, Sally Field, and the whole deal. Train a snow leopard to smoke a pipe and wear a Mexican sombrero, and put a little electronic voice box around his neck, and give him like a very dignified sweater vest, and make people believe that he has sentient thoughts. He has sentient thoughts, and he is very good at writing poetry, and he's a very stand-up intellectual, and get him on Oprah, and you'll be speaking through the voice box. It'll be radio controlled, and make it so that he'll be or he or she will be interviewed on Oprah. This very dignified looking snow leopard, and when Oprah asks the snow leopard how he balances work and family, say, well, it's simple really. As a snow leopard, I just simply listen to Hapless Heroes podcast.
I guess it's achievable.
It's totally easy. It's fine.
I guess notwithstanding all of the, issues with trading in wild and exotic animals and.
Well, they love
stuff,
smoking pipes, but the hat is going to be the difficult
that's
part.
what they love. Yeah, you're right. Snow leopards love smoking pipes.
They love it. You can't get them to stop.
Yeah, you really can't. Yeah, it's a problem that plagues all snow leopards. But speaking
as
of
the old
problems
saying
plaguing
goes, you can get
the
a snow
world-
leopard to smoke a pipe, but you can't wear it. You can't get it to wear a Mexican sombrero.
I didn't know that's how that saying goes, but I guess
It
I
is.
thank you. We
It's
all
famous.
learned something today, I think. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and outro this cast for you as we say goodnight, starting on my virtual right. We have John as Lord Jarrell the Light. Oh! Sorry, I had to. I rhymed 3 times.
Until next time.
Zach is pregnant.
Wow, that bush looks great.
Nicole as Boris the Butcher.
Keep enlarging, Pregnart. We can just hide under the book.
Mike as Lord and Captain Quinn Southwind.
Caw-caw!
And Dave as Zero, Valen's Avatar of War.
Okay, so we know for the assassination that magic is out.
And I'm Francesco. I've been your host and DM. Tune in next week where I guarantee it's probably going to be just as wacky as this just was. But bye now.
Bye.
Bye.